Olá, eu sou o Luiz Pimentel e junto com meus companheiros Rodrigo Lima e Stephanie Marino, nós somos da Cucamonga. Hoje eu vou conversar com Eicca, que é líder do Apocalyptica. Ele é violoncelista e de uma banda que começou fazendo covers do Metallica, cresceu, começaram a fazer músicas próprias e agora eles vão tocar no Brasil no dia 29 de abril, no Summer Breeze, junto com Skid Row, Sepultura, Lamb of God, Stone Temple Pilots, Accept e Blind Guardian. Ele fala sobre o show e sobre a carreira pra gente. Acompanha. Hi, Eicca.
Yeah, Eicca. Hello.
Hello, I'm Luis.
And you are Luis? Luis?
Yeah.
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 Great.
You probably know about, I'm from Brazil, of course. And can we start, Eicca?
Yes. Yes, sure.
Okay, so let's go on. Eicca, Finland and the Nordic countries, they have their own characteristics in music. I remember that in the 80s, Finnish hardcore bands were very popular in Brazil, like Ratus, Tervet, some bands like that. And we used to think about it like Finland seems like such a calm country, like a cool place. Where does this hardcore aggressiveness comes from? And it was very unusual for us. And then we had the Nordic black metal scene, burning churches and even murders. Suddenly, there are 4 cellists playing heavy metal. Can you explain to me where this Nordic peculiarity comes from?
That's a good question. I don't know. You know, historically, living in North has been always very hard because of the conditions, the cold, you know, the long winters stuff. So life has been always hard. So people are pretty tough in that way, and like in all Scandinavian countries, there's been very little population comparing to the land we have. So people are not used to communicate with each other so much. So I think people have a lot of this kind of, when we have this anger, the music has been the way. So the funny thing is, like, for example, in metal music, most of the metal musicians, they are the nicest, the sweetest guys, you know, as persons. And then they put their masks on and they play this most aggressive, brutal music. And maybe just that's a ventilation. That's how we ventilate our frustration and anger. But I don't know. It's something in the Scandinavian character is probably that life hasn't been easy. I don't say it's easy anywhere, but you know, when it's minus 20 degrees Celsius and 1 meter snow and dark and wind and for a couple of months, that's tough.
Yeah.
So I think that has been molding the Nordic character. But still Nordic people are very peaceful since the Viking age. You know, after that we've been very peaceful people. But we put the anger in the music. We like dark music because we feel it somehow it's healing.
Yeah, that must be the same in reverse, because you never expect a band like Sepultura coming from a country known by samba, by soccer, by beaches, and something like that. I know what
exactly.
Yeah. And this year you celebrate 30 years of the band. What is the balance of your career? Because I imagine that when you came up with the idea of Apocalyptica, it was like a gamble without such longevity forecasts. I presume that, but I'd like to hear from you.
You know, when we never decided to form Apocalyptica, we were just the classical cellist who loved metal music, and we started to play the music we love with the instruments we can play for our own fun, and then for the fun for our friends. And that's how we started. And then we got accidentally this record deal to make the first album. And we were thinking, let's do the record, and just for experience, it might be exciting. And then it started to go on. And then we started to become a band, you know? So yeah. The music and the first album was before there was actually a band. We were just a bunch of guys, friends, you know, who played music for fun. And so the evolution of Apocalyptica, I would say that we really became Apocalyptica on the third album, Cult, when it was original music and it was something really, really different and weird. Of course, we are Apocalyptica since the first album, but kind of as a band, if I really mean that, how we integrated to become a band happened on the way. And then we've been all the time just how we've been going on, we've been doing things that we are excited about, what interests us, what challenges us the most. And that's how we've been doing every album. That's why we are here today. We wouldn't be here if we would not have been following our own passion and our own interest, that it's been always fulfilling, no matter what challenges there have been on the way and a lot of bullshit. But still it's been always, the core has been, okay, we have the passion for music, so we do music the way we feel passionate. And but of course it's crazy to look back, like it's 30 years ago when we played first time Metallica with cellos, and also almost 30 years when we played first time Sepultura with cello.
Yeah. Talking about Sepultura, as you recorded Sepultura, I am curious to know if you have listened to the most recent work of the group, especially the newest album called Quadra, because they have shown characteristics of very intricate music. I dare say there's a lot of classical influence in this current prog thrash metal that they are doing.
Yeah, I think the new album is super exciting, super interesting. And what is the most exciting for me is like that the old guys, they are blasting with such energy that that the young guys are left behind, It's like it's so impressive. But I always like that on Sepultura that they always been open to be influenced with other music styles and other things already since the times of Roots, that they always wanted to explore. Making music is it's an exploration. It's about exploring things. It's about finding something that you don't know yet. You don't know what it's about or how it will influence. Being open, and that's what I like in these certain bands. Still like Sepultura, also Metallica, that they are exploring. They are not just doing what they know how to do. They're not always playing the safe bet, because the safe is it's many times very boring.
Yeah, I see. I totally agree. And do you know any Brazilian composers like Villa-Lobos?
Yes. I love Villa-Lobos.
Really?
Yes. I've been playing so much Villa-Lobos in my life. There's a lot of great music by Villa-Lobos, though.
Okay, because not many people know about him, but I wonder if you, since you are a cellist, a classical player, you know our classical music, which is not very spread to the world. And why in the latest album did you record a totally instrumental album again?
It was a little bit, it came a little bit because we had this place Metallica anniversary tour right before. We played like 230 shows, only Metallica songs, only instrumental Metallica. And that was it was so interesting to go back to our roots, back to 96, but with the experience, what we have, after all these years touring. I was like, would be actually exciting to do the same thing with our original music, that we go back kind of in the times of Cult album, when we did the first album with original music, and see how that would feel. And also we felt that after doing so much collaborations, doing collaborations is always great fun. It's very inspiring. But in the other hand, it makes album productions very complicated. Very complex. It's like a huge puzzle, and you are missing half of the pieces for the puzzle on the way you do the album. And then it's kind of, and this time we wanted like just us with the recording engineer, not to ask anybody, no opinions, nothing, just to see what we can do, how we are, how we feel as the band. So that was kind of the approach for Cell Zero, and it was a long time. we also one thing was that we realized that in these modern worlds, digital worlds, that we don't have to put everything we know into one album. So we can actually focus on one album and something and go deep into it. And this time it was instrumental Apocalyptica. And at the same time, we can still do other stuff. We can do collaborations with singers. We can do, now we did this the classical EP last summer came out. So we can do simultaneously different sides of Apocalyptica, which is fun. But for the album production, it felt like, okay, we wanted to take this time and space to dive deep into what is instrumental Apocalyptica today.
And talking about this experience, like how has it been to play in heavy metal festivals without a guitar and a bass? You know, it's for me, I wonder how is that from stage to public loud, this experience?
I don't know. I can't compare because I haven't been playing guitar
Yeah.
so
It's the only
playing
way.
cello on metal festivals, that's the only thing I know. So no, I think it's just great fun. I love, of course, there's always this special aspect that I love to see people's faces when they are like, I can't believe this sound is coming from those instruments, you know. And it's always fun. People are usually first couple of songs they're just looking at like mouth open, like, oh, what's going on? It's great fun. It's great fun. They can't believe what they hear.
Okay, and I have a question addressed like 10 minutes ago by my daughter, Lola. I showed her a song that you recorded with Corey Taylor. Since she's a huge fan of Slipknot, she wants to know who's the coolest guy you worked with in heavy metal and how is to work with like Corey Taylor and these monsters specifically.
I have to say that we've been lucky to work with so many cool people, but of course Corey Taylor is one of the coolest. Of course, Till Lindemann is super cool. Of course, Nina Hagen is extremely cool. Who else we've been working with? Like, you know, everybody has been cool in the way or another. So I have no ranking. Every collaboration has been special. Dave Lombard, of course, he's incredible. He's super cool.
He's my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. And
so it's like you know in this business, in music business, I think it's life in general. The people who have the highest competence, they are usually the nicest people because they don't need to be anybody. They know who they are, and that makes them cool.
Totally agree. And what can people, the audience can expect from Apocalyptica's concert at Summer Breeze?
It's going to be a full blast, energetic journey with a lot of emotion, and the set list is going to be combination of all kind of Apocalyptica stuff. A little bit Cell Zero, a little bit Metallica, a little bit other instrumentals, a little bit vocal songs. Frankie Perez is coming with us to Brazil, so there's going to be a good spectrum of Apocalyptica styles in the good high energy flow.
Nice. And what do you expect from the visit to Brazil? Do you guys expect?
I'm expecting the insane crowd, you know, like great energy and lots of love from the audience. And I think together, the experience what I've had with Brazilian audience, I'm so sure that together with Brazilian fans, we are going to create something super magical.
Okay, and that was my last question. Feel free to say anything you want that I didn't ask, if you have something.
Nothing special. Just want to say again that I'm super happy that we are coming finally back to Brazil. It always warms my heart when we hear that, okay, there's South American dates coming up and we are able to come back because we have only great memories from touring in South America. So very happy to come to see all our Brazilian fans.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you very much for your time, Eicca. I hope you have a wonderful time in Brazil. Your band is superb, and we are looking forward to see you on stage, to see this experience of these instruments on stage playing heavy metal. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much, Luis. Take care. Tell greetings to your daughter.
Yeah, take care.
Take care. Thanks.